There was this girl, and her name was Grace. Grace grew up in a house that was always full. Siblings, nieces, nephews, laughter, noise. Yet somehow, she felt completely alone. No matter what she did, Grace never felt seen. And whenever she told the truth, she was painted as a liar. So eventually, she stopped trying. She didn't know any better. Instead of standing firm in her truth, she started lying. Not to hurt anyone, but to survive. But even that didn't make things better. It only made her feel worse. Grace had a father, but he was a drunk and barely present. She had a mother, but she lived in another country. Her mother sent money, she sent clothes, she sent everything Grace needed, but she didn't send herself. And when her mother finally came to visit, instead of bonding, she performed for others. Grace's heart was right there, but her mother never reached for it. So Grace grew up living to please people who didn't know how to love her. She honored her parents. She tried to be the good daughter, but she was often met with harsh words, criticism, or silence. Her family pushed her down when all she wanted was to be lifted up. Then one day, the whole family moved to live with Grace's mom. Grace was excited, truly excited, because she thought, maybe this is it. Maybe being close to Mom will heal the loneliness. Maybe this emptiness will finally end. But even then, the love she chased never turned to receive her. She did good to her parents, but was met with disappointment. She reached out, but they never reached back. And that pain pushed Grace into places she never planned to go. She started drinking, she smoked, she partied. She looked for comfort anywhere she could find it, even in places that broke her more. But here's the thing about Grace. Even at her lowest, she always prayed. She asked God, is this it for me? Is this all my life will be? Loneliness, rejection, and hurt. And one night, God answered in the most beautiful way. He gave her a dream of joy, a dream of peace, a dream where she had a loving husband and beautiful children, a life she'd never experienced but always desired. She didn't know how, and she didn't know when. But that dream planted a seed, hope. One day, Grace went to an event with her boyfriend at the time. They ran into one of Grace's friends. With that friend were two young men. Grace didn't think much of it. She was tired from work, so she went home early. Life went on. 2 years later, that same friend called Grace and said, "Remember the young man you met at that event? He wants your number." Grace didn't even remember him. Not his face, not his name. But something in her said agree. So she did. One day, he called her. They talked. Then they talked again. And again. And slowly. Grace began to feel something she had never truly felt before. Safe. That man became her husband. The husband she saw in her dream. The love she asked God for. The family she prayed for. The blessing she once believed wasn't for her. Grace now lives the life she thought she would never have. A life she prayed for. A life God promised. A life she visited in her dream, but now walks in reality. And even though her family may still misunderstand her, even though jealousy and hatred try to rise against her, Grace is striving to live holy. She knows who she is. She knows who God called her to be. And finally, she knows what love feels like. Baby, listen. Some people won't love you because they don't know how to love themselves. Some people won't receive you because they're too broken to recognize a blessing when they see one. But your value is not determined by who rejected you. It's proven by the God who chose you. The Bible says, Though my father and mother forsake me, the Lord will receive me. Your story isn't over. Your childhood pain will not be your adult identity. God can rewrite anything, even the parts of your life you thought were ruined. God said, "For I know the plans I have for you, plans to give you hope and a future." God will send the people who see you, who choose you, who love you, who don't need you to beg for attention, because they give it freely, just like He did for Grace. Always remember, God is able to do exceedingly, abundantly, above all we ask or think. This is Lady O signing off.